Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. There are some days I come to work and it's going to be 4 Rolex reviews in a row. And then there are days when I get to share stuff like this. 38 millimeters in yellow gold. This is the Blancpain Leman Perpetual calendar chronograph. Blancpain makes some incredible complicated dress watches. They're not just the 50 fathoms. Here's your proof. 38 millimeters in diameter. It's only 12.5 millimeters thick and wonderfully compact from lug tip to lug tip. At 43.8 millimeters, the watch has a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Being under 44 millimeters from lug to lug, it wears wonderfully, almost like a date just on a strap. It's low enough and it's sloped enough that it'll fit underneath a dress cuff no problem. And this is a fantastic way for someone with a smaller wrist, taste for vintage styles, or smaller timepieces, or a lady to get into truly haute horlogerie, complicated watchmaking. The timepiece over the top comes nowhere near the edges of my wrist. You can see that well down the barrel. A cuff shot real quick, and then we'll take a look at the strap. The strap is a light brown, large rectangular scale alligator leather strap. This is the best cut of large rectangular scale, where they truly are symmetrical, similarly sized, and rectangular. There's a lightly contrasting stitch. There is some bolstering to give it thickness. You can see that there's a sheer cut side to show the layers of leather on the bottom, this being a modern Blancpain strap. It has a rubber inlay so that the oils, sweat, moisture, and grit of your wrist will not age the leather or degrade it. So this is both comfortable against the skin and very functional from a durability standpoint. You could see the buckle has the maker's mark on the bottom, JB, and the company name on the top. It is a dress-style pin buckle. The case band is simple but strong. We're familiar with this case. On the 50 fathoms, the Villeret, and the Le Mans, we have these lugs that are slightly broken out. They're not totally integrated Calatrava style. You can see that crease between case and lug. And then we have this large, polished, bowl-shaped case with considerable tumble home from top to bottom with the Blancpain logo on the side. You can see there are pusher adjusters for making corrections to the calendar. We have screw-down chronograph pushers and screw-down crown. This watch is 80 meters water-resistant, and yes, on a water-resistant strap, you can swim with it. The bezel is double gadroon or double domed, which is an elegant style. And then the dial is a sort of opaline white, so it's a matte white, no directional grain like a sunburst or a satin. It glows lightly in direct light. It's more white than silver. And then we have a couple of mono counters. We have chronograph minutes and the date over at 3 o'clock. We have chronograph hours and the day over at 9. And then we have the month and the leap year phase up at 12 o'clock. We have a moon phase down at 6 o'clock. That has an adjustment interval of once every 122 years. The perpetual calendar does not need to be corrected, provided it keeps running until the year 2100. So leap years, irregular length months, February, it has no problem there. We have applied baton style indices, and then we have a Roman numeral down at 6 o'clock, 1 Roman numeral, plus pyramid style indices at 9, 12, and 3. But what really sets this dial apart is that it is a true tritium patina. You can see these little dots of lume outboard of the yellow gold, solid gold indices. They are wonderfully aged. That's the real deal. That's not photina. The hands at center are broadsword style, and they're skeletonized, so you can see the sub-registers. We'll do a quick lume shot, and you can see here that the dial is original tritium. The hands themselves at some point were service replacement luminova, which is very common during the service of watches. In general, you'll see hands are replaced on a regular basis at service. But one of the advantages here is that the watch is still legible to a degree because of those service replacement hands. Now, flipping it all over, there's not a whole lot to see, but I know it's underneath the case back. It is the fine haute horlogerie and hand-finished caliber F585. It's based on the Frédéric Piguet 1185 automatic integrated column wheel vertical clutch chronograph caliber. Now, Frédéric Piguet and Blancpain have been together since the first Blancpain watches of the modern era in 1982. Piguet and Biver were partners in the resurrection of the brand, and when Blancpain was sold to the Swatch Group in 1992, Frédéric Piguet came with it a few years later. The two were integrated, and Frédéric Piguet is now manufactured Blancpain, so that is the relationship between the two. The movement's a unidirectional automatic automatic winder with a 40-hour power reserve. It is a perpetual calendar, a moon phase. It is a column wheel vertical clutch chronograph. You can see that the pushers here are screw downs, and once deployed, I can operate the system. It has a nice positive sound and feel thanks to the column wheel function selector. And you'll note it engages smoothly without any jump or play thanks to the vertical clutch, which has no play inherent in it, unlike a lateral clutch. So when you stop, you stop. When you start without any jump. And when you reset, it always resets perfectly to 0. Moreover, if you like to leave your chronograph running, a vertical clutch lets you do that with no additional wear and tear to the watch. The movement's adjusted in 5 positions, which is the high horology and chronometer standard. It is handsomely decorated. It's a good-looking movement, so though you can't see it, it is quite attractive. And it beats away at 6 beats per second or 21,600 vibrations per hour. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.